Some of Derek's family is in town for Hoxley's birthday. He's turning 7 and he's in school right now. So we're all going to one of our favorite wineries to have lunch together, and then we're gonna go pick him up after school. I absolutely love the view. The menu is always changing with the season. I'm a high sound eater. This means my determination color is sound, and I'm sensitive to the volume and inputs and frequencies that I'm taking in to nourish myself. But I have a taste cognition underneath, and as I've been deconditioning, I have noticed the tone underneath my color is getting stronger. So what that's felt like for me is I notice every season I sort of go through a diet overhaul. I'm kind of sick of eating certain things, and I'm then going to be looking for new things to eat. So even though I'm very sound sensitive, my studies have taken me to some new territory where I'm paying a little bit more attention to the tone underneath it, or at least I notice it more in my daily life. My palate is getting very sensitive in particular. As a high sound person, I love to eat in a restaurant. I would eat every single meal in a restaurant if I could. I like that I can just select exactly what I want. They bring it out to me, I eat it, they take it away. I'm listening to all the chatter in the restaurant. I absolutely love that. If it were up to me, I would eat with probably one other person or a couple other people every time I was eating. And just to be in that sort of exchanging environment, I really love when I'm eating. I've always had a really carnivorous side to me, and I didn't know if that was conditioning because I had a parent who was a meat eater and really pushed meat on me as a child. But my other parent didn't eat meat at all. So I don't know how influenced I am by that. But when I really just leave myself to my own devices, I typically just eat meats and fruits. I like small little bites of things, and this is something that I've noticed with my taste cognition. If it's about this size, a bite size, I devour it, but if it's a whole big bowl and a big plate, I typically get full really fast now. This is what I mean about my cognition coming online and being I'm a little bit more aware of it, because these weren't things that I was necessarily aware of a few years ago. Just how much I prefer like little appetizers, little bites of things, little shareables. I really do like that. My typical diet is a lot of meat and a lot of fruit and fresh green juices. I will also never say no to a potato because I love potatoes. Hi.
Hi. Phone moment for the car.
Because I'm a strong.
I noticed something today because I've been doing a lot of intuitive eating, meaning I'm only eating when I'm hungry. But because it is getting closer to my cycle, my appetite has kind of revved up more. However, after I've been eating, I would say the last 2 days, I have been feeling extremely uncomfortable and ungrounded. Ooh, I'm gonna get emotional. I felt like I was being violated. So it's like your body, and if you know you've ever been violated sexually or physically or anything like that, you know something's wrong, but we also have to take into account the biological body reacting. So it's almost like my body was being turned on, but it didn't feel good.
Wow, say that's a lot of butter, girl.
Sayla Peace is cooking or creating something with our chef and our nanny. She always wants to be in the kitchen, seeing whatever chef's making. Her whole thing, especially right now, going from 3 to 4, she just had a birthday. It's, I can do it by myself. I can do it by myself. I can do it by myself. There's just this internal dialogue that she has where she doesn't want to be considered a baby anymore. She wants to like prove I can do this. Let me try. So we try to honor that as much as possible. Just get out of her way. What's the best part about raising a manifester? I just try not to get in her way. That's really the only thing that she's requiring of me, and then equipping her with kindness and manners to inform whenever it is that she needs to do that. Nice girl. She's very cuddly. She always wants hugs and kisses, especially when I ask Elisha for hugs and kisses. He's like very no. And it's like sometimes he's so loving, and so sometimes he's so cuddly, and other times he's just the projector that peers into your soul and like, don't touch me, no. You know, very like deep, dark.
We're on Tall Mountain.
No, we're not.
We're staying
We're at the ice cream shop. Both of my kids are 2-4 profiles. Elisha, my son, is a 2-4 emotional projector. Please. I'm cultivating an immense amount of patience raising a projector. There is nothing that he does not want to touch, get into, ask about, know about, be in the presence of. Elisha also has a defined heart, so while his authority is emotional, you can hear that he has a defined heart.
We are toilet poop.
What?
The hardest part about being a single parent is, well, I think it's twofold for me. The hardest part about being a single parent is having an ex-partner, a former partner, and their extra, their partner's input into my life. I really am not a huge fan of that. I don't like input from others when it comes to my kids. And then I think the second hardest part is being a single parent means I'm single.
Last week I was talking about how privileged I am to be a single parent who has a lot of help and a lot of support. It's weird how like 7 days can change everything, because suddenly I'm like, ooh, I don't want that help. I don't want people meddling in my business, my kids' business. It's like too much meddling, too much input from people who are not the parents of my children. And I'm having to navigate that. It feels really uncomfortable. As a manifesting generator with a defined heart, what I say goes. When I feel something deeply, boundary that has to happen, like that's the deal. There's no like, yes, I see you, I hear you, I understand your opinion, I can listen to things, but like my mind's not changing. My heart's in this the way that it is. This is the way it is. People don't love that. And I don't like the fallout of it, you know, because it makes me have to stick to my guns. And when I really dig in, it's uncomfortable for everyone. I'm having kind of a shit week, parenting week, which is a bummer because it's on the heels, or I have all these, not on the heels, it's like I have all this celebration happening. Like I have one daughter who's moving up to 6th grade, and I have another daughter who's graduating from 8th grade, so next year I'll have 2 high schoolers, and like they're not babies anymore, and that's so exciting. But I have all this like other icky, like weird shit to deal with on the backside of it. And I just don't want to. I don't want to. I want to like putz around, do fun stuff. Like I want to go to the beach, drink a Miller Lite.
You know, a lot of times I worry that like I'll never really get a boyfriend or a serious partner until the girls grow up, because I don't want anybody really influencing my children. I don't really want the influence of a romantic relationship in my household. Like I think that the dynamic that we have here works perfectly, and I don't really want to interject someone else into it.
Sounds like I'm hearing you're choosing to be single for the girls' childhood.
I think that it would take a really special person to kind of come in and deal with all of us or add to us. I mean, there's really, we're an easy crew, but I just think like you'd have to have something to really offer. And so far, no takers, you know, so we're good. I'm very happy the way things are.
But I'm also hearing you're open to it.
Hi.
I am open to it. I love love.
I was thinking about ex-boyfriends and ex-husbands, and I just have them like laying around everywhere. One ex-husband in a very small town, one ex-boyfriend in a very small town, and all of the married women he's dated or slept with. And so I'm just kind of like, what am I gonna do this summer? Do I need to get out of here to try to date someone? Do I need to try to date someone? Can I just go without dating? That kind of feels like it means I'm gonna go without sex too then. That doesn't feel good. And I'm like, oh, also like the dating game of Tinder and Hinge and Bumble and all that shit doesn't sound good either. It's exhausting to me. Like pretending I like someone. Also, I don't want to pretend I like someone. I want to really like someone. I'm 46, like I'm not getting any younger. I mean, I kind of am. Subliminals. I mean, I guess I don't have to do anything. I guess this is a dumb thing to talk about because I don't really have any answers and I don't really even know what the question is. And the question is, I guess, am I getting laid in the summer of 2022? Or am I like entering the nunnery? I think the first choice.
Yeah.
I'm blurry.
I know I have me in focus.
Oh, okay.
So we're just at Huxley's school. We're gonna go pick him up. We had a little lunch date. You know, he's done at like the middle of the afternoon at 2:30. So we're gonna go pick him up. Derek and I spend a lot of time together, like a lot of time. We have a relaxed lifestyle, we work at home together, and it's just a lot of us together all the time. And so we kind of prioritize getting away from each other.
Already told them.
Hawk is turning 7, and with his family in, his 4th line is just activated. He gets in these hermit modes and these community modes as a 2/4, and I really notice when his body is happy, it gets hyper, he will spin, and so he's just ecstatic to have all his family in for his birthday because it's going to be all about him.
Eddie! Oh, hi. Hi!
My roof process, I lost a lot of my skills that I acquired in my first life phase. Not so much that I no longer know how to do these things, but the skills kind of became obsolete as the world kept continuing forward. And I didn't have the same energy levels to do as much of the creative output that I used to do. So working with Derek and having access to his sacral and him being a generator, I'm really figuring out what that dynamic will look like, especially since I'm not able to keep up with the volume of output of creativity that I used to do in my first life phase. Now that I'm on the roof and I'm operating more like a 6 line, I do find certain things are harder for me now. So I'd rather actually not do them and look at how I can develop new skills that I might need while being on the roof.
Does she need an intro? Does she need an intro? Recording in progress. Do like that.
Recording in progress. Just keep doing that.
That's a cute.
Cut that chunk.
No, do it again. Let me hear it again.
From the top or
from the top. Recording in progress.
You guys love each other. You guys are holding hands.
That's good. Side. Bring it in. Let's put our hands in. Family on 3. Come on. Let's get it going.
We're just in a different phase of life than where we were, especially because we had kids. We had our kids so early on in our relationship.
I always knew she was going to be my daughter. It's a dad, not.
I know, not right now. Alex and I lived a lot of our partying friendship life pre-marriage and pre-kids. And so now the friendships that we're cultivating are more like friends that you would go on vacation with, friends that you would have over for dinner. So it's not that we don't go out a lot. It's just that the scenery or the landscape of activities with friends have changed a lot over the years. And so anytime that it's a celebration, it's a lot more intimate, it's a lot more family style, it's a lot more inclusive of where everyone is kind of at in their own individual journeys, as opposed to just kind of night outs, which we do have those ever so often.
Returning home from the trip just brought so much up for me. It was such a beautiful week and such an unexpected week. And that's a lot to kind of go on a vacation on a whim. I don't want to say but, I guess, and when things are really, really good and I'm letting myself feel really good, or getting to these places in my life where I feel like I'm peeling back layers or like finally getting something that I've really been wanting, what comes with that is this whole slew of doubt and fear. And when I returned home from the vacation, starting Monday, so starting about 7 days ago, my body just was feeling weird. I wasn't eating a ton just because the food wasn't great where we were, and it's always kind of challenging for me to like get the foods that I want in places. I've been super tired, super hungry, having really strange food cravings, like something is up. Yesterday, I woke up and felt really nauseous and have been having weird cramps and mood swings. And I just have this feeling like something's going on in there. Yeah, I mean, that would be wild if I was pregnant. the internet and things that I've heard and things that I've been exposed to say that no one knows at this point and you shouldn't tell anyone because you don't want to, you know, get lost in the possibilities and potentials of things, whether you're trying or not. So it's like the possibilities or the anxieties, all of these things mixed into one. There's so much dialogue out there about the etiquette around our bodies. And to me, I just felt so weird the days and weeks following that trip, to the point where I had never felt this type of way inside of my body. I'm usually someone who's very in tune. I am someone who's very in tune with their body, very in tune with their hormones, very in tune with the cycles that I experience. And this cycle just felt really different. So I went scouring the internet for information that I could find. I just started talking to my friends about it because I didn't know what else to do.
We can't find. They're all too big. How are we gonna have a fire in one that's too big?
We have to make one.
How?
So surprised by the song choice.
What song was this?
This Kiss, Faith Hill.
Oh, I have a great, that's my little morning, my morning jiggle.
Look at her.